From far and wide, Oilers fans, this is Dolynny TV.
And welcome back to another edition of Dolynny TV Edmonton Oilers discussion. And today, guys, it is a little bit of a more stretched topic. Haven't done one of these in a while, and it makes sense as things kind of draw to a close here in the Oilers season, right? Now you are squarely. There is really no one on the fence anymore. It's either squarely, there's a chance, not that we'll make the playoffs, there's just a chance that we could. And then there's the no hope, all hopes lost, give up and let's just get rid of this season kind of deal. So I'm trying to remain on the fence, trying to stay in between you guys so as I understand where I am, but it's a tough one because right now the Oilers aren't giving us many options. And before I get to the point, just every video pretty much from here on out's got to include a look at the standings. Minnesota's got 64 points in 62 games played. We have 60 games played, 56 points. So we're 8 points back with 2 games in hand. Technically that could be only 4 points back of a playoff spot, dead even with Minnesota. You understand where I'm coming from. However, the next two are without Connor McDavid. And that's where it gets fun because tonight we play Anaheim. I'm not going to game preview right now because I'm going to switch and transition to two guys I think could be absolutely key to things going right. Obviously, they're a little bit more obvious targets when you're talking about being guys that are going to get something done for this team. However, it's an interesting one, that's for sure. So let's get Sam Gagnier's profile loaded up here and Colby Cave, because I'm going to dive into a little bit about what I think these guys could do to do things right for the Oilers and help them get the chance, not necessarily make the playoffs, but at least be competitive down the stretch. So essentially you got to look at, for Colby Cave, let's start with him because Sam Gagner, we've all talked about him a lot already, and that's, you can make of it what you will. It's the return, it's oh my god, our kid's back, yeah, kind of deal. But for Colby Cave, this is a guy who's come in after 5 points in 20 games on Boston. We picked him up on waivers. He's played 11 games, had an assist. He had his assist in the New York Islanders win, and he was a +2. So things are starting to kind of trend in the right direction for Colby Cave as to what I have noticed the past 3 or 4 games out of him. He's starting to use his feet a lot more effectively. That comes with, as he said, earning playing time from the coach, Ken Hitchcock. And now you've got him also getting to the front of the net. This is one thing the Oilers have not had in a fourth-line center since, I guess, you know what, back when Kyle Brodziak had his couple-goal game or whatever it was, way earlier in the season, because Colby Cave is jamming away in front of the net and creating havoc, and that is allowing absolute beautiful stuff to happen. And it's not necessarily we're getting goals because of it at this point, or he'd have an extra point or two. What I'm saying is he is starting to generate the chances that eventually go in, right? You got to look at it. Hockey is a game of opportunity, and you can only create so many opportunities before they become banked cash. You know what I mean? So for Colby Cave to get an assist on, I believe that was the Sam Gagner goal that he got the assist on, which Tobias Reeder set Gagner up beautifully. You look at that, that's a great play, but he also was on the ice for another goal. So you look at it, it's starting to look a little bit more positive for a guy like Colby Cave. And I mean, the guy's never in his NHL career had more than 6 points. Because seriously, this is as easy as it is for Colby Cave at 24, 23 years old in his 2 seasons in the NHL. Season number 1, he played 3 games, had no points. This year, he has 1 point as an Oiler and 5 points as a Bruin. So look at that, man. You know what? Colby Cave down the stretch, he keeps doing everything right like he has been doing the past 3 to 4 games. And the Oilers start utilizing him more as that third-line center instead of the fourth-line center. And I mean, you have Sam Gagner or Alex Chiasson on his wing. Things are bound to happen, right? Because Chiasson's bound to break that goalless drought. And you've got, man, oh man, you've got Sam Gagner bound to do something right. We'll get to him in a second. But for Colby Cave, he continues to do everything himself the right way, and he will be perfectly fine. And you imagine, the Oilers get some depth scoring down this stretch, right? Obviously, we're without Connor McDavid for 2 games. How clutch would it be if Colby Cave's past 3 to 4 games carry over to tonight against Anaheim? He gets a goal, he gets an assist. Suddenly, you know what? I don't think the Oilers lose that game 9 out of 10 times. So that's huge. So Colby Cave is a guy that we've kind of relied on to fill roster space up until now, and suddenly I think he's emerging after earning the trust of Ken Hitchcock, and I think he's really starting to look like a guy who could do absolutely something positive for this Oilers team. As I said, he had 13 minutes and 41 seconds on ice. In Arizona, he had 15 minutes and 38 seconds, and that's as adjusted to 9:52 against New York and 12:06 against Carolina, and 9:18 against the Pittsburgh Penguins. And the shifts are up slightly, but not by much. I mean, 17 shifts as opposed to 18 shifts, in which he had an extra minute and 41 seconds on ice against the Islanders at home as compared to the Carolina Hurricanes on the road. You know what I mean? So that's good. And the big thing here is for Colby Cave, he's taking face-offs, a lot of them. I mean, anywhere between 5-4 to 8-11, 14 in a game. And the guy is literally 500 or better in the face-off dot. I guess 50% is how we do it in hockey. And that's huge. Honestly, the last 5 games, right? You want to look at a metric that's saying he's getting the puck the right way. There's a possession metric for you. The Oilers start with the possession more than half the time when Colby Cave is on the ice the last 5 games. You go into a game tonight against the Anaheim Ducks, who are a tough face-off team. I mean, Ryan Kessler, Ryan Getzlaf, those are big names. And you have to go and try and win this game to even have hope to stay pace with Minnesota. Look at it this way. It's a possibility that Colby Cave wins us a couple of face-offs and changes the game for us. So now you go to a guy like Sam Gagner. Sam Gagner, who's coming in, and honestly, this is where it's going to sound stupid, because this is the stupid part about it. Anything is better than nothing out of Sam Gagner, right? Obviously, we had Ryan Spooner wasting away in the minors because he didn't want to play in Edmonton and he just didn't have anything to give us. Well, now you look at Sam Gagner, who's excited to return, excited to get into a lineup and make a change after being in the minors 90% of the season. Oh boy, suddenly we are talking a big-time difference maker for the Oilers. Now, he's had that goal, obviously, against the New York Islanders the other night. That was a beauty. Felt good. Felt great to see it for Sam Gagner. Now, where does he make that impact? Does he keep doing it? And I think, honestly, as I said, for Sam Gagner to make an impact, it's going to be about being effective all lengths of the lineup, whether he's on the 4th line for a shift, 3rd line for a shift, 2nd line for a shift, or 1st line for a shift. Tonight, Sam Gagner, I honestly don't know where he's going to slot into. We'll get to that in the game preview. Obviously, I think maybe a little bit of first line time, a little bit more than he was during the New York Islanders game, is in order for Sam Gagner tonight. We'll see. Maybe have him centering his own line, but I bet you he starts with Colby Cave just to see what they can do to begin the game. And like I said, if Colby Cave gets a goal or an assist, you can almost bet if Sam Gagner is out there, that puck's going through him at some rate as well. So for Sam Gagner, it's just a matter of going and showing and proving, because he's here next year as well. So show and prove, keep it going, keep it rolling, and 1 goal in 3 games, honestly not a bad showing when you're talking about the Oilers' depth, right? 1 goal in 3 games. You go divide 3 by, well, 1 divided by 3, I guess, would be the math I'm looking for, times 82. That's still 27 points. Guys, that is tops on this team. We're talking top end of point scoring on this team when it comes to the forwards if you have 27 points in 82 games. That's brutal. Don't get me wrong, that's not a good metric by any means, but you know what I'm getting at. Sam Gagner is starting to make a difference in this lineup, and all it is about being effective on every single line he's put on tonight and from here on out. And Sam Gagner and Colby Cave could absolutely be 2 of the biggest difference makers the Oilers have when it comes to trying for a chance at the playoffs. Not to make the playoffs, that's not what I'm going to say. A chance at the playoffs. 2 totally different things in my mind. A chance, as I said, let's go back to the standings, because it's all about doing something with the 2 games in hand against Minnesota. Because if they end up losing a couple of games and suddenly we string together 5 or 6 wins, we're right there in the conversation. Now, yes, there's Colorado, Arizona, Chicago, Vancouver and Anaheim to contend with as well. But honestly, it's as simple as this. You go win 15, 16 more games out of the remaining 22, and you lose one in overtime. Suddenly, you are looking at 86 to 89 points, and that is definitely, in my opinion, going to be good enough for the second wildcard spot, I would imagine. So guys, let me know your thoughts on these two guys in the comments section down below. As always, I'll catch you in the next one. I'm Tyson, this is Dolynny TV. I am up on out of here.